Thank you for joining on this wonderful celebration today for Sri Radhashtami and Ganesh Visarjan. Both festivals are being celebrated today. So again, thank you everyone for joining. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said that we should always be celebrating all the festivals together, and as we know, the dharma for this yuga is Sankirtan Dharma. So when all of us come together and chant the names of Lord Hari, it is very, very beneficial to every. Okay. Thank you again. So we'll start with the prayers to our Guru and Lord, and then we'll start from there. Hare Krishna. So this Guruji, if you want, you can push this to that side and move this a little bit, because it will have some of the prayer that you're going to have. Okay, like this. And Navya made this.
Oh, wow.
Om Ajnanatirmirandasya
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपाकरामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहागना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं स्वादुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्री गौर भक्त वृंदा। वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं कृपातम् अहं वन्दे तारणं धर्मानन्दमाधवम् ईश्वरम्।
It is not easy to understand Radharani, and definitely not easy for anybody in this material world to understand about the tattva of Srimati Radharani. Even Lord Krishna himself has some difficulty in understanding completely who Radharani is and what is her mood. And he tries to understand the mood of Srimati Radharani when he comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the combining incarnation of Radha and Krishna. Just to try to understand the mood of Srimati Radharani. So it is definitely not something that is so easily understandable that who Radharani and how to approach her. But at the same time, being Jesus, she is the eternal mother. She is the most merciful. She is the one because of whom we are able to approach Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord himself. So, whenever we get a chance like this to glorify or try to understand Radharani, we should. So this is just my humble attempt to discuss and share what I have learned from the Acharyas, from the senior Vaishnavas. And I'll just try to discuss the same with you all here today. So if you have any questions at the end of the discussion, please feel free to ask. And as I said, it is a difficult thing to understand for anybody. So it is no surprise if you all have questions afterwards. There will also be a Kahoot for the kids. So please pay attention if that is something that interests you. So we will have a Kahoot discussion afterwards. So, I think most of the questions are from the class. So the more you pay attention, the more are chances to So, Krishna says, Manusyanam sahasreshu kashyati siddhye yattamati siddhanam kashyat mam veti tattvaha. So here Krishna says that out of thousands and thousands of people, Manusyanam sahasreshu kashyati siddhye, only some try to understand me. It is not easy to understand Krishna, and only some people will try for that. You know, that's one of the basic questions. Why should we even try to understand Krishna? You know, I'm living this life, live life king size. Right? So why should this aberration come? You know, because when you're trying to approach Krishna, when you're trying to follow on the footsteps of Krishna, then you know you have to follow certain guidelines. You have to spend some of your time in trying to remember Krishna, trying to do what Krishna likes, because you're trying to please someone. So even in this material world, when we're trying to please someone, then we try to learn more about that person. Right? If I like someone, I try to know more about them. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And then we approach them in such a way so that it pleases them. So similarly, when we are trying to understand Krishna, we try to understand more about him. And who can we approach for that? We can use the scriptures. That is the best guide. Rather than just discussing amongst one person talking to another person. Have you heard about that elephant story? You know, 4 blind men trying to understand what an elephant is. Yes. So, does everybody know that story? So, yes. So one time, 4 blind men were trying to understand what an elephant is. They were blind. They had never seen an elephant before. They were blind from birth. But they had an elephant in front of them, and each of them approached the elephant in a certain place. And somebody held the leg of the elephant and said, "Elephant is like a large pillar." And that's what an elephant is. Somebody who was near the face trunk of the elephant held that. No. He held the trunk. No, it's like the elephant is like a rope. It's more like a very thick rope. Somebody was at the body, touched the body and touched the whole elephant and said, No. Actually, I think elephant is like a wall. So, which one of them is true? One was saying wall, one was saying it's a pillar, one was saying truck, the rope. Just like that. If we try to understand by our limited understanding, by these material senses, that who Krishna is, it is very difficult. Because these senses are imperfect. So in the Shastras, there are some limitations which are given that this region of material bodies has. Because of which it is very difficult to understand who the Lord is based upon our material senses. So when we cannot understand based upon our senses, then we have to take the shelter of the Shastras. And by taking the shelter of the Shastras, we can know who the Lord really is. By the great personalities who have much more understanding than us, like Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma says who Krishna is. So similarly, that is one way. So we are talking about Manusyanam sahasreshu, that only some people even approach Krishna and try to understand who Krishna is. Out of those, if we are to extend further, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschin yati siddhaye yattam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattva. And out of those thousands and thousands of people who are trying to understand Krishna, only some can understand who Krishna really is. And if you want to go further from this shloka, from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we can add a line that out of those thousands who understand Krishna, only there is very rare one who can understand Srimati Radharani. So Radharani's tattva is very, very difficult to understand. So much so that Srimati Radharani as such is not mentioned much in Bhagavad Gita. She is not even mentioned clearly in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the next level. Right? Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, the name of Radharani is not mentioned. And I think yesterday, Natasha's class, she discussed why. So anybody would like to answer that? Why? Why is Radharani's name not mentioned in Bhagavatam? Yes. I think please go ahead.
Who was narrating the Bhagavatam to her sister, he would have gone into ecstasy if he said Radharani's name, and Parikshit Maharaj did not have enough time left in his life, so he decided he would just say one Gopi instead of saying her name.
Three goals, yes, wonderful. 3 times 3 goals for that. So yes, so Bhagavatam starts when Parikshit Maharaj only has 7 days of his life left. He knows that in 7 days he is going to die. And he decides to utilize that time in trying to understand who the Supreme Lord is, who he is, who we are. That is the basic question in life. Who we are, what are we here for? Are we really this body or the soul? So just these basic questions. And then that is the goal of life actually, to understand this, so that after the death, or at the time of death, we can understand or we can remember Krishna. So that is the basic goal of life. But Parikshit Maharaj was actually very lucky. He knew in 7 days his death was going to come. We have no idea, but still we plan for like as if we are going to live forever, forever and ever. Right? So I was saying that even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Radharani is not mentioned clearly. Reddy just gave us the answer that why Shukdev Goswami didn't mention, and there are many other reasons also. But in 10th canto, a lot of Vrindavan Leela has been described. Krishna is tying to Vrindavan. So Srimad Bhagavatam has 18 cantos. In 10th canto, it talks about Srimad. 12 cantos, 18 books. So in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vrindavan Leela is described, and Sri Krishna's pastimes are described. Now it is not recommended that we start reading directly from there, just like, slowly start reading, and we don't go to 12th grade directly, we go from 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So just like that, it is suggested that we first try to understand the Bhagavad Gita, the teachings from Bhagavad Gita, and then we start reading Bhagavatam. And in Bhagavatam, read through the different cantos so we understand who Lord Krishna is. In 2nd canto, Brahmaji, when he appears, he is trying to understand who Lord Krishna is, or who created me, he asks. Lord Brahma is asking, there is nothing around him, there is only void. And Lord Brahma is trying to find out where did he come from, what is the purpose of him being there. And then Lord, listens to his prayers, and through his heart, he gives the knowledge that he should do tapa. So he gives tapa to these 2 syllables. And then he does a lot of tapasya. So he's the original tapasya, original person who meditates is Lord Brahma. And then, after he does a lot of meditation, Lord reveals himself to him. And then Lord Brahma is able to understand that he arose from the Vibhudakshay. Vishnu is the Vibhudakshay. Vishnu from the navel is coming the stem of the lotus flower where Lord Brahma is residing. So he understands his origin. And then he, just like we should try and follow in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, he decides to become an instrument of the Lord and follow what Lord wants to do the creation for this material world. So just like that, just like Lord Brahma is showing us by example, how should we try to understand who we are, what is our purpose in this life, and what is the goal of this life. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita doesn't mention Radharani. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't mention Radharani. So how are we able to, or how can we try to understand who Srimati Radharani is? Luckily, Lord comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came 550 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give the love of Godhead to us, to humanity. And then Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami wrote the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is like the PhD. So, like Bhagavad Gita is graduation, then Bhagavatam is post-graduation, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita is like PhD. So once we have read all this literature, we can delve into the depths of Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there Lord reveals the tattva of Srimati Radharani. So that is how we can try to understand Srimati Radharani. There are a lot of misconceptions generally in this material world about Radha and Krishna. And people in the material world often take the relationship of Radha and Krishna very cheaply because they don't understand who Radharani is. So Radharani is none other than the potency of Krishna himself. And which potency? The pleasure-giving potency of Krishna. So the different potencies of Krishna, the different Shaktis, mentioned as Alahadini Shakti, Samvit Shakti, and Sandhini Shakti. So Radharani is the Alahadini Shakti, the pleasure-giving potency of the Lord. That is Radharani. So not going more into the tattva right now, we'll try to come back to it if you have time later. But today I would like to discuss about the appearance of Srimati Radharani. That Srimati Radharani. That Srimati Radharani who even Krishna has difficult time understanding. And even Krishna follows in the he footsteps, or he's completely bound by Radharani's love. In Damodar-ashtakam, some of us here in the month of Kartik, we sing Damodar-ashtakam every day in the month of Kartik. We offer lamb, and the Damodar Leela, for those who know, is really a Leela in Vatsalya Bhav. Right? It's when Yashoda Maya is trying to bind Lord Krishna. And what happens every time, I think we did this in one of the Diwali also, so all the kids should be aware about this Leela, right? We played this part in one of the Diwali festivals a few years back. We did a play when Yashoda Maya was trying to bind Krishna. And every time she is trying to bind Krishna, the rope is just 2 finger too less. So, it's not easy to bind Krishna. But, so Yashoda Maya decided, so Krishna was being naughty, and Yashoda Maya decides that I'm going to tie Krishna today. So she tries, and she uses all the rope in the house. Every time she tries it, it's just 2 fingers too short. So she calls all the gopis, and they, other people, they also get their, from all the houses in Nandagram, where they are, everybody, Vrajadam, all the people bring ropes to try to help Yashoda Maya to try Krishna. But they are not able to. Every time the rope is long and big, all the rope is finished. In the house, in the village, everything is finished. They are not able to tie. It's always 2 fingers too less. Then they say, okay, from the nearby villages, let's find. Right? From the nearby villages, get more rope. Like Shraddha Maya is determined now. Right? You learn determination from Shraddha Maya and how we should try to not find, but get the Lord. Finally, they reach Barsana. And in Barsana, Radharani is there. And Radharani, what is she doing? She is getting milk from the cow. She's milking the cow. And then somebody comes and says, they're trying to tie Krishna and we don't have any rope, so we have called for all ropes, everything is finished. Can you give us some rope, please? Radharani says, yeah. There's usually they tie the calf or the cow using the rope in the leg. And they're trying to milk the cow. So she takes off that rope and gives it to them. And then Krishna is bound by the rope given by Radharani. Because Radharani's love is what can bind Krishna. So that's why in Radhashtami, even though it's a Vatsalya Leela, at the end we say, Radhikaya Priya Priya Ye. So Radha name comes in Damodar Leela, even though it is most of the Leela is in Vatsalya Bhava, but to find Krishna we need Radha. So we're going to talk about the appearance of that Srimati Radharani. So Radharani, of course, appears in this material world, and then she is also there in the spiritual world. So in spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan, let's start from there. And how does Radharani appear in Golok Vrindavan? In Golok Vrindavan, before anything is there, Krishna is there. He is supreme. He is the Adi Purush. Govidam Adi Purusham. Tamham Vijami. So Lord Krishna is sitting there, and he develops a desire to perform Ras dance. Right? For all of us who dance over here or like dances in Kirtan, it's not as much fun to dance alone. It's more fun when you do group dance or with someone dance. So Lord Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, develops this desire to perform Ras. And the moment he desires this, from his heart, a light comes, an effulgence comes from his own heart. An effulgence comes, and that effulgence personifies and takes the form, and that form takes the lotus flower and comes running to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and sits by his side, and that is the appearance of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani is none other than coming from Krishna himself. So we should not take it cheaply when we think about Radha and Krishna and what they do. In a funny way, one of the senior devotees was mentioning that it is not vulgar if I kiss my hand, right? It is not. It's my body. It's fine. I can touch myself. It's not bad. It's not vulgar. There is nothing wrong. So just like that, when Radharani is nobody else, he is part of Krishna himself. So we should not take it cheaply like that. Plus, then there are questions as to why Radharani and Krishna never get married. It's a very, very deep topic. They actually do get married also. There is, and Lord Brahma himself does the ceremony when they get married. But there are many, many deep understandings to that. But coming back to the appearance of Radharani, we talked about Radharani's appearance in Golok Vrindavan. So next to talk about Radharani's appearance in this material world, and how did she and why did she appear in this material world? So Krishna, one time, now Radharani is there living in Golok Vrindavan with Krishna. And Krishna has had many incarnations. It says, I could not reach the love of God these living entities still are not coming back to Godhead. They are suffering in this material world. And they don't have prema. So to teach prema or love, he decides he has to come as himself, as Krishna, in the Krishna path. So he asked Radha, hey Radhe, let's go and I want to teach these humans about love, these living entities about love. So Radharani says, no, I'm not. Why? Because Radharani says that where there is no Vrindavan, where there is no Govardhan, where there is no Kalindi, the Yamuna, I do not, mera man nahi lagta. I do not find any enjoyment in such a place where these things are not there. Now Radharani could have gone, she will automatically go with that. Krishna wants to go, Radharani has to follow. But why is she putting this condition? For us, for the living entities. Because she is the eternal mother. So she, by her causeless mercy, is giving us the Govardhan, the Yamuna, the Vrindavan Dham, the Vrajraj, these four things materialize in this material world because of Radharani. Because without Radharani, we wouldn't have had these four things. We wouldn't have had this glimpse into the spiritual world without the mercy of Radharani. Because we don't have anything. We don't have enough bhakti. We don't have enough shakti. We don't have anything that would have been able to bring these in this material world. Only the causeless mercy of Srimati Radharani is able to bring all this for us so that we can go back and love and learn the love of God through these. So Radharani put this condition that I am not going to go to the material world without these four. Krishna says, okay, I will arrange for them to go to the material world. And then there are different stories, different pastimes as to how Govardhan appears and how Kalindi Yamuna appears, how Vrajraj appears. We won't go into those right now. But afterwards, now her job is done. She's like, okay, I'm happy with love, but I'm not going up. I will go and time comes. So Krishna, now, Radhe, everything is there. I've arranged everything. Let's go. It's time. So Krishna feels, something has to be done. Otherwise, Radharani is very comfortable with love and she is not going to go. She has already received her thing. She has already given his things to the material world. In Golok Vrindavan, of course, spiritual world, everything happens as a leela. Everything happens for the pleasure of Krishna. All the leelas happen for the pleasure of Krishna. And thus, another leela happens. So Krishna starts going every day away from Radharani, just like to go to work. He goes in the morning, early morning he will leave and come back late night. Okay, one day, 2 days, Radharani is like, what's going on? Krishna, where do you go? You are leaving me alone. No, I'm just doing something. I have something to do. So Radharani of course decides to find out what's going on. So Radharani follows Krishna, detective. So Radharani follows Krishna to see what is going on. What is going on? Krishna is actually going and sitting and talking to a Sakhi, Virja Sakhi. So he's spending time with Virja Sakhi and Radharani goes and actually the moment so she becomes a river and starts flowing as a river. So it's spiritual world, whatever you think you can do. So she becomes a river and starts flowing as a river, and by the time Radharani comes, it's only Krishna sitting, saying, oh, I'm just meditating by myself. So this happened 1 day, 2 days. Radharani is like, no, something is, put your way. So Radharani goes and this time she sits beforehand in that area to see what's happening. So again, Krishna goes and is talking, Vidya comes, and now Radharani catches her. Red-handed. So, what after this, Radharani now gets into Man. Again, this is all Leela. Nobody really, there is no real lust in the material world, like in the spiritual world, like material world. There is no really lies or lying in the spiritual world. This only happens in the material world. In the spiritual world, everything just happens for the pleasure of Krishna, and the Leelas happen to just exchange relationships with the devotees and to make these beautiful pastimes that we can talk about. So, but in this Leela, what is happening is they are caught red-handed. So, Radharani gets very angry. He curses Brija first. He's like, okay, so you become a river every time I come. I'll curse you that you will always remain as a river. So, Brija Nadi is actually still flowing as a river between the spiritual and the material world. It's like the borderline of the spiritual and material world. River, Brija Nadi. But Radharani's anger is yet not satisfied because the other culprit is still there. So Lord Krishna is still, he hasn't been punished. So Radharani then actually says, you are lying to me like these humans lie in the material world. So I cursed you that you have to go to this material world. Krishna is actually, okay, my job is done. I'm getting to go to material world like I planned. Okay. But to complete the process, now Sridham comes. Who's Sridham? Navya? Who's Sridham?
The brother of Srimati Radharani.
Yes, very good. So Sridham, the brother of Radharani, comes and says, hey Radhe, what are you doing? You cursed Brija, you cursed Lord Shri Krishna. You shouldn't have done that. Okay, I curse you that you have to go to the material world now. And you have to bear the separation of Krishna for 100 years. Because you cursed Lord Krishna. So, this is how the Leela happens so that, the Lord and Radharani can appear in this material world. So that's, we talked about how Radharani appeared initially in the spiritual world. We talked about how the Leela happened that Shri Krishna and Radharani were destined to come to the material world. And now we'll talk finally about how is the appearance of Radharani, because it's Radhashtami. We'll talk about how Radharani appears. So this is the third story of the appearance of Radharani in this material world. So once there were two brothers, Himalaya and Vindhyalaya. So that's the valley is called as Himachal, right? And there's Vindhyachal. So Himachal actually has a daughter who is even knows. Yes, Hari Bol, 3 times Hari Bol, Parvai Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So yes, Parvati. So Parvati is actually the daughter of Himachal. So Himachal's son-in-law is then Lord Shiva. Yes. So Himachal's son-in-law once became Lord Shiva. So Himachal's fame increased a lot. Everybody is talking, oh wow, Himachal is so lucky that his son-in-law is Lord Shiva. Amazing. But what happens in this material world? Envy. So the other brother is in Vindhyachal, got envious. That okay, my brother is now, he's so famous. His son-in-law is Lord Shiva. He's getting fame from everybody. I need to do something too. I need to get famous too. Okay. So whom does he go to? He goes to Lord Brahma, starts praying to Lord Brahma. There's a lot of tapasya, and then Lord Brahma appears, and Lord Brahma says, "Okay, ask for a boon." And what does Vidyachal ask? Says, "I want that my son-in-law, or Himalayas son-in-law, is getting so much fame, Himachal. His son-in-law should be subservient to my son-in-law." So that is the boon that he asked for. Lord Brahma is like, okay, whatever, he doesn't really pay full attention to this. Yeah, boon granted. So not a big thing. And then he goes back, to Brahmalok, and he's like, wait a second. What did I say? Himachal's son-in-law is Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, who can he be subservient to? There's only one Tattva greater than Lord Shiva. So that is Krishna, or Vishnu. So now Lord Brahma is like, okay, what will I do? But Lord Brahma is a very big devotee of the Lord. So Lord Brahma goes, as usual, to see Shiv Sadhana to pray. Lord Brahma is, that's the job of the demigods. If somebody does tapasya, they have to give them the results of that tapasya. And that's the job of Lord Brahma, that he did that. So he goes to the Lord and says, hey, Lord, there's no Bluetooth at the time, no calls. We had to go to Shiv Sagar and pray to Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu, with a certain prayers, and then Lord Vishnu answers the prayers of Lord Brahma and says that, actually, it is okay, this is all my arrangement. What you said happened through my arrangement, and I will come, don't worry, I will come as Krishna, Avatar, and so, that way, this arrangement is made. Now come to the time when Lord Krishna has been born in Vrindavan. And at that time, we all know the story of Janmashtami, right? Janmashtami has happened already, so we all know how Lord Krishna is born. We know that when the 8th child of Devaki was born, then Vasudev took him to Nandigram and took their daughter, brought her back to Mathura in the jail. And then when Kamsa got to know that the 8th child has been born, he comes to try to kill them. Now when he tries to kill this daughter, or the 8th child of Devaki, she flies away from his hand, and there are a couple of predictions that she makes, or prophecies that happen. First prophecy, actually, we all know about. Vinita can probably say that the best. She heard that a lot in a. Oh fool! The person who's going to kill you has been born already. So you see in the drama, last Janmashtami, the kids performed really well, so that's what I was doing. They prepared this like a lot. I love speaking this actually. So that is what is happening. That Lord, they say to Krishna that the prophecy says that Kamsa, you are a fool. The person who is going to kill you has already been born. Right? The second prophecy, though, which is less known, and it is mentioned in the scriptures, is that Vindhyachal's daughter has a boon. That whoever eats the food that she makes is going to become really powerful and have a very long life, almost a life. So, Vindhyachal by this office gets 9 daughters. He gets 9 daughters. And Kamsa now decides to kill one problem is that boy or that person who has been born, who is going to be his star. And second problem is this person who's going to feed that person. Right? So he sends Putna and says, actually we'll deal with that other person because I don't know where that other person is, but I know where this is. This one is. So Putna, why don't you go and first, take care of first problem and then you go over there to the problem or wherever you try to find that other child. So Putna kidnaps all these 9 daughters of Vindhyachal. And she is, flying. And when Vindhyachal finds out, he decides to do a yajna or a fire sacrifice to try to decrease the power of this witch who has taken his daughters. So as the oblations are being put in the fire, Putna's powers start decreasing. She's carrying these 9 children, and slowly her power is decreasing, and she starts dropping these kids from their earrings. But she has reached the region of Radhashtami by this time. So there are 8 daughters who get distributed to different villages around Barsana. Guess who these 8 are? Anyone? Any guesses who these 8 daughters are? What do we know them as? Somebody, I heard that. Very bold. Yes, 3 times very bold. So the Asht Sakhis. So these are the Asht Sakhis. And then the smallest, the youngest daughter, actually falls into the Yamuna. There is a said in the scriptures that there are 1,000 petal lotus in the Yamuna Nadi. That's where Radharani falls into. Okay. So even follicle here. Okay. Now the last part of the story to tie everything in. Radhashtami and Kirtida. So these are 2 people who live in Barsana. Radhashtami is very opulent. He is actually more opulent even than Nand Maharaj. So Radhashtami and Kirtida are very wealthy, very well settled. Everything is good, but they do not have any kids. So they wanted kids. So they are praying to get kids. Kirtida, the wife of Radhashtami, along with her friends, goes to Yamuna. And they are praying. All of them are praying. What Kirtida? Kirtida is everything, but doesn't have children. So they are praying. And then as they are praying, what happens is they see a beautiful, fulgent lotus flower flowing towards them. And then Kirtida reaches Kirtida. She picks up the flower, finds this beautiful, effulgent baby in that flower. The moment she picks it up, her motherly affection starts, and that is kind of a command in our scriptures that if you start producing milk, producing the child, then that's you are kind of the mother. There are 7 mothers. One of the mothers explained in our scriptures is one who feeds a child. Okay. So it is confirmed then that this is Kirtida. This is meant to be Kirtida, as Radhashtamu's child, and thus Radharani makes her appearance in this material world like that. Srimati Radharani ki Jai.
Hari Bol.
So that is the Radharani that we are trying to understand. There is another pastime that I will quickly mention, that it's about time now. Now Radharani is there. Now Radharani's eyes are closed when she was found. Her eyes were closed when she was found by Kirtida. And she didn't open her eyes. But now where did this all happen? This is happening at Yamuna, but not in Barsana. This is happening all in Rawal. Like we have a vacation home, right? Sometimes some people have vacation home. They live in Jackson, but they have a vacation home in Destin or somewhere in the beach. So this is all happening now. Kirtida and Vishbhanu Maharaj, they are very opulent, and they have a home in Raval, and that is where all this happened when they found Radharani in the Kalindi, and they brought Radharani back to Barsana. So just like Krishna was born in Mathura but brought to Nandagram, just like that, Radharani is born in Raval and then then comes to Barsana. Same way. So now when they reach Barsana, there is a big festival. That okay, Vishbhanu and Kirtida have a daughter. So there is a big festival, just like you have Nandotsav after Janmashtami, when Nand Baba is celebrating the birth of Lord Krishna. So just like that, there is a festival here. And in that festival, all his friends are coming. And Nand Maharaj is also coming. Right? Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Maiya, and Krishna. So all of them are coming to Barsana, where Radharani has appeared. And when they are there, everybody is wishing them and stuff. Krishna, of course, crawls and reaches the bassinet, the jhulan, where Radharani is kept. And he, in some descriptions, it is said he touches the eyes of Radharani. Some it said that he speaks to Radharani. But whatever ways, the Radharani gets to know that this is Krishna, and she opens her eyes. So the first, this is one thing that another, shut or one thing she had said, that I'm not going to go, when I go to this material world, I want to see you as the first person. So that's how Krishna fulfills that boon to Radharani, that he is there for the first sight of Radharani. Same way it is also described when we have an Annapration ceremony, when we eat the first time when the child gets to eat. So just like that, the Annapration ceremony also about 7 months happened for Radharani. It's described in scriptures. So for that also kind of similar thing happened, that there were these Vedic hymns going on, Vedic sacrifice going on. It's a big ceremony in the scriptures when the child is eating for the first time. So there's a lot of Vedic hymns going on, puja going on, and amongst all this, Radharani is there. All the people have come to their house. Nand Maharaj has come, Krishna has come, and Krishna is just eating something here and there, and having fun, but they're little. And Radharani, 7 months, when she goes and she crawls and takes a food from Krishna's plate, and she eats it before they could do the Annapration ceremony. So Radharani takes only prasad for Krishna. And it's described, just like Radharani decides to only see Krishna with her sight, we should also take lesson from that. And in the mornings when we wake up, we should also have this longing to see Krishna in our everyday life. So when we open our eyes, we should also think about Krishna, want to look at Krishna, say the name of Krishna, just like Radharani. And just like Radharani, when you eat, we should not eat just anything and everything. Ideally, we should just eat prasada for the remnants of the month.
Hari Bo. Hare Krishna.
I wanted to discuss a little bit more about Radha Tattva, but I think, how are we doing on time, Mataji?
5:26. It's good. Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
So we have 15 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, to talk more about Tattva of Radharani, we will delve into Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 8th chapter. So there are 3 scriptures or 3 scriptures where Radharani, being the Supreme, has been kind of established. So one is Chaitanya Charitamrita that we are going to talk about. Another is Lecture of Instruction. Lecture of Instruction also. Lecture of Instruction is by Srila Rupa Goswami. It is only has 11 verses. Small book. If anybody gets a chance to surely read that. Very instructive. Just in these 11 verses, it is explained right from the basics, lowest level to the highest philosophy explained in those 11 verses itself. And it culminates basically in the glorification of Radharani and Radha Kund, which is nothing but the liquefied love of Srimati Radharani. So coming back to Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a description in the 8th chapter of Madhya Lila, where where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is at the banks of Godavari river. And looking at Godavari, he is remembering Kalinti, Namuna. And seeing the forest around him, he is thinking about the forest of Vrindavan. And at that time, he sees that procession is going on. And in that procession, there is the palanquin in the center. And some really famous personality is going in that. And that personality gets down and comes to take bath in the river. And that personality is nobody else but Rai Raman. So Ramanand Rai was at that time the governor of Madras, current Madras area, Chennai area. So he is a governor, he is a political figure, he is thousands of people following him at the time. And at that time, when you have this, personality who has so many followers, is coming to take bath in the river. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of course, being Krishna himself, knows who this person is, but he stops himself from going and meeting first. And Ramanand Rai, when he sees the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, and the effulgence coming from him, he knows that this is no normal person. And he goes and pays his obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and says, I am actually a very lowly person. I don't have any bhakti. I am in this material world serving, doing political work and stuff. I'm a Shudra. I'm a real nobody. Please accept me. Please accept my humble obeisances. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, you are so wonderful, you are so great. I know the bhakti, I can see the bhakti inside you. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has sent me actually to meet you. So I am lucky that I am able to meet you so easily. So just by following, these not the regular descriptions of how the great personalities interact with each other, there's a lot to learn for us. We feel we are very big, but these really, really big personalities, the supreme personality of Godhead, the great, great devotee, the person who's has thousands of followers, not on Facebook, but actually walking besides them. See how they interact with each other. They're giving all respects to the other person and keeping none for themselves. Just like Shishkan said, Granadapi Sunichena, Taror Api Sahashruna, Amani Nam Manave, Kirtane Sadhari. That we should be like humble like a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, and give all respects and expect none in return. And in such a mood, we should pray to the Lord. So coming to there, actually this discussion is very beautiful, but it establishes so that what is the supreme understanding of the truth. It's a long discussion, I will try to summarize it, but it starts off with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asking Ramanand Rai that you are such a wonderful, great devotee. Why don't you tell me something from the scriptures? And tell me something, what is the greatest truth in the scriptures? So Ramanand Rai says that following Varnashram Dharma is this most supreme. So following the Varnashram Dharma properly is the most supreme. Rishabdev followed Varnashram Dharma and he attained, he became purified completely by that at a young age. Varnashram Dharma is, the all Chaturveda, there are four, there are four varnas and then ashrams. I won't go into the details. But nowadays, what we are following, what we know about is more of a perverted version of the Varnashram Dharma. But earlier, when it was properly followed, at that time, it was the best way to reach the God at that time. But that is what Sai Ramanand said initially. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, this is not, I don't like this. Tell me something more. Tell me something that's higher than this philosophy. So what does he say then? Comes to from Bhagavad Gita. Initially, like in third, fourth chapter is where Varnashram Dharma is mentioned. So now is going further, and Ramanand might say, actually, the next level is, if you want to hear more, it is Yad karoshi yad ashnasi, yad joroshi dadasi, yad tapasvasi kauntaya, tad kurushmila. That whatever work you do, you offer it to me, or to the Lord. That is the higher level than even Varnashram Dharma. Bahya, aage karo. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not happy with this philosophy also. He says, no, this is still okay. Now, this is not the supreme understanding. Because in this, whatever you are doing what you want, but then you are offering it to Krishna. Yes. Yad karoshi yad ashnasi. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are paying, you offer it to Krishna. So that is also not the supreme. So okay. So Ramanand says, okay, I'll tell you more then. So he says, comes to 18th chapter. Sarva dharma parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashami mashacha. This is higher philosophy. Last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. At the end, Lord is saying, Sarva dharma parityaja. Leave all religions. By religions, we mean that leave all types of bindings or all types of sectarianism, or you can say that any kind of rules that you have to follow. Forget all the rules, forget everything else. You don't have to do anything. Sarva dharma parityaja. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Just follow me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashami mashacha. And I will deliver you from all your sins. This is my promise. Mokshayashami mashacha. I will give you liberation. This is my promise. Lord Krishna is saying at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Eyo bhaiya, aage kaho ya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not happy. No, this is also low philosophy. I don't like it. Tell me something more. So, in 3 shlokas, all Bhagavad Gita gone, aage, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, yes, say something. Gyan Mishrit Bhakti. Gyan Mishrit Bhakti. So now we are talking about Bhakti. Now Bhakti comes. So in Gyan Mishrit Bhakti, there is knowledge of the Supreme, and based upon that knowledge, you are submitting yourself to the Supreme. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, this is higher than the one before, but still Bhagya. Not happy. So, why? Because in this also, there is actually, you can become very, you can have demand, you can have pride of Jnana. So the pride of knowledge is kind of the worst kind of pride. Because the pride you get from beauty is limited for some time. Pride you get from money is also limited. It's a lower level. But pride from knowledge, you think that you are the highest and you know everything. That's a very bad kind of pride, and that can limit your spiritual advancement. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. So next, he says, okay, even higher than this is Jnana Shunya Bhakti. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is interested. He's like, okay, this is something that I can take. Yes, this is high philosophy. Jnana Shunya Bhakti, that you are just completely surrendered to the Lord without any expectations, no pride, and you are completely surrendered to the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, this is good, I like this. But tell me more. So even higher. So Ramanand Rai says, okay, so even higher than this is Prema Bhakti now, the levels of Prema Bhakti. So the first he says is Dasya Bhav. And Dasya Bhav, if somebody like Lord Hanuman is in Dasya Bhav, that if somebody in Dasya Bhav approaches the Lord and gives everything to the Lord, everything they are doing it for the service of the Lord, as a servant of the Lord, as a humble servant of the Lord, that is Dasya Bhav, that's Dasya Bhav Bhakti, and that is higher than everything else we have discussed before. And that is actually the mood of us Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that is the mood that we are in, the mood that Jivera Swarupe Krishna Nitya Das. And then Dasanu Dasanu Das. That servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, that is the mood that we try to have, that to serve Radharani. That is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Different people, there's no in bhakti, once you reach this bhakti, prema bhakti, all the levels, there is not like one is really greater than the other, but the rasa is slightly different. That the mellows, the exchanges are slightly different with the Lord. So Dasya Bhav Bhakti is what Lord Hanuman has. So you can't say to Lord Hanuman that no, this is lower level, you go to have. No, it's not like that. Dasya Bhav Bhakti is the best for Lord Hanuman. That is the way Lord Hanuman is able to approach Lord Ram, and he interacts with Lord Ram in that way. But higher than that, further Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks, yes, that is good, but something higher. So Ramanand Rai says, okay, higher than that, in the mellows, in the interaction, the person who's enjoying these interaction, that is Lord Krishna himself, or the supreme enjoyer himself, the Param Purusha himself, the Adi Purusha, he enjoys more in Sakhya, in friendship. Because in friendship, so when Lord came as Lord Ram, he didn't really have a lot of friends. He had everybody, even Bharat, even Sugriv, Sugriv was his friend, Bharat was his brother, but they all worshipped him in Aishwarya or Dasya. They were in reverence to him. So you can't really enjoy friendship, the love of the fun in friendship of playing around, of joking, in that bhav. But in Sakya Bhav, when he came as Krishna, he enjoyed that with the Gopas, the Gopis, the Gopas mostly. They would play with Lord Krishna. They would actually wrestle with him, defeating the Lord, right? Who can defeat Krishna, who has all the potencies, all the power, but by Yog Maya, they cover all this, and he likes to have these exchanges with the Gopas in Sakya Bhav. So Sakya Bhav is in the Rasa section, it is higher than Rasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, that is good. Something even higher. So higher than Dasya is Sakya. Higher than Sakya is Vatsalya. Vatsalya Bhav. Because in Vatsalya Bhav there is no expectation. Because in the friendship also there is still some expectation. That, hey, I did this for you, maybe you didn't hear. Right? There is still some expectation. There is still a little bit of expectation that I did this for you, you should do this for me. But in Vatsalya there is no expectation. A mother does everything for the child without any expectation. The parents are not expecting anything out of their child. That is why they are doing something for them or feeding them or doing. They want the best for the child, not because they want something from the child. So that's higher form of love in the sense of rasa than even Sakya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, wonderful, little, almost there, almost reaching there, little. So Ramanand Rai says, okay. Higher than that, there is anyone? Madhurya Bhav. So, who is in Madhurya Bhav? The gopis of Vrindavan. They are in Madhurya Bhav. So in Madhurya Bhav, that is even higher because they do not care about anything about themselves. About what people will say, they come running in Rasa dance. They don't care what is happening in the household, they come to Rasa dance. For Krishna. They leave everything for Krishna. All they do, everything they do is for Krishna, for giving the pleasure to Krishna. So, that is the highest. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, that is one more. I need one rank. Last. So this one is, Ramanand Rai says, love of Radharani. That is the supreme. Nothing more than that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, that is all what I wanted to hear. Just to hear this, I came from Tirupati, where he was in Jagannath Puri, came to South India to Ramanand Rai to hear this from the mouth of Ramanand Rai. He knew Ramanand Rai knows all this, but wanted to establish it from the mouth of the devotee, and thus he had this Rai Ramanand Rai. Ramanand Rai is nobody else but Arjun and Vishaka Sakhi. So this is like the opposite. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjun is asking questions and Krishna is answering the questions. In Rai Ramanand Silvad, it's like Arjun is giving the answers, Krishna is asking, getting the the cream out of the milk. So that is who Srimati Radharani is, as established in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jai Shri Radhashtami Mahotsav ki Jai. So I think after this is we have to today's Ganesh Visarjan also.
ये अभी कंपोज कर रहे हैं
Oh yes, we have to do correct. sure if everybody heard. He asked about the timing of Radha and Krishna's birth, as to how apart were they and age-wise and stuff. So it is mentioned very clearly in Rupa Goswami's literature. It is mentioned, and the age of Krishna in the spiritual world, and here also always is 15 years and few months. I don't remember the exact date, and it goes to, it tells actually up to half a day, that these many years, these many months, these many days, like that. And Radharani is Nitya Kishori. She is 14 years, so she's about a year and few months younger than Krishna. And both of them are born actually in the month of Bhadra. So this month is, as you know, and eventually this Purnima is going to be coming. This Bhadra Purnima, a very, very auspicious day. We try to distribute as much Bhagavatam literature as much possible on this day. We get Krishna in the house. It's very, very auspicious. So Krishna was born during the month of Bhadra, but he was born in the week of waxing Krishna Paksha. And Radharani is born in the same month of Bhadra in the week of Devi. So thank you for asking that question, Prabhuji, and I'm sure all the kids will be happy for the question. Okay. One more thing I would say, we'll talk about it later when we are doing the session briefly. What I wanted to mention actually, I'll just say is about Lord Ganesha, that I don't have the verse with me, but in Ramayana, not Valmiki Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramayana, there is actually a word that glorifies Lord Ganesha, and it is described very beautifully. So it starts off with glorifying Lord Ganesha, saying that, how beautiful Lord Ganesha is, and talks about his greatness. But then at the second part of that verse, when we start reading that verse, we are thinking, why is Tulsidas talking about Lord Ganesha? Right? We read that Lord Ganesha wrote is the writer for Mahabharata, for Ramayana. He or she is the one who writes it. But why is Tulsidas glorifying him like that? Because that is like Rasabhas, or the Bhas of Ananyata. Ananyata means that my only Lord is one. That means Ananya Bhakti. And that's the way a Bhakta should be, that they should have Ananya Bhakti. But Tulsidas is such a great devotee of Lord Ram, but he is disrupting this concept of Ananya Bhakti? No, he is not. Because in the second part of that shloka, he glorifies Lord Ganesha and then requests the bhakti of Sri Ram from Lord Ganesha. So that is how we should approach any other senior personality, so that we don't leave our Ananyata, but at the same time we can be the Ananya Bhakt and request or pray to anybody else that please give me the bhakti of my spiritual Lord. Just wanted to give that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, put your paper both 3 times.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
Take a hook then. I think we'll need the TV connection.
For everybody who heard the story,
For kids.
for kids,
For everybody can. So,